news?
Well, first of all, we need to differentiate spirituality from religion. Spirituality is about questions. Religion is about answers. Spirituality is when you ask some big question like, who am I? Or what is the good? And you embark on a quest to find the answer. Religion is when somebody comes and tells you, this is the answer, you must believe it, you shouldn't question it. If you question this, you go to hell or we burn you. And to say, it's a bit... many people will be taken aback by the idea that religion is fake news, but actually this is something every religious person, or almost every religious person, will agree that all religions are fake news except one, except of course mine. You ask a Jew, they will tell you Judaism is the truth, of course, but Christianity, that's fake news. I mean, all these news about Jesus rising from the dead and being the Son of God, this is fake news. Ask a Christian, the Christian will say, oh, no, Christianity is the truth. But Islam, all these news about Muhammad being visited by the Archangel Gabriel and the Quran being dictated by God, this is just fake news. Ask a Muslim about Hinduism, you get the same response. So, and of course, this is true not only about religion. If you look at any large-scale human cooperation throughout history, you will almost always find at the basis some fictional story. It's true of many secular ideologies, it's true of nationalism, it's true or even of the economic system.
Right, I mean, humanity, every culture you can think of is founded on great stories.
Yes, fictional stories are the basis for human cooperation. And with all the talk these days about fake news being something new and blaming it just on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you don't need these kinds of technologies to spread very dangerous fake news. If you go back 1,000 years to some small medieval village, you don't have Facebook or Twitter, but you do have the village gossip coming to you and telling you, well, you know this old woman who lives by the forest? I just saw her flying on a broomstick. And within an hour, you would have a raging mob of villagers with pitchforks and torches ready to burn this old woman to death. So fake news is it's a big problem, but it's not a new problem. But there are many things we can do from the level of individuals to the level of governments and entire countries. On the level of the individual, I would say the most important thing now is to get to know yourself better. You are now in a race with all these organizations and corporations that try to hack you. You must get to know yourself, to get to know your mind, your weaknesses, and not allow them to be manipulated by these external forces. Another thing that individuals can and should do is join an organization. If you care about something, you should know that humans are far more effective when they work in cooperation than when they work in isolation. So choose one organization and join it in order to really make a difference. And it goes all the way to the level of countries and governments. Technology is never deterministic. You can use the same technology to create heaven or to create hell. If you look at the 20th century, you could use radio and electricity and trains to create communist dictatorships or to create liberal democracies. The trains did not care about it. It was up to humans to decide. And it's the same with AI and bioengineering. We can use them to provide the best healthcare in history or to build the worst dictatorships in history. I would say that the key to creating paradise and not hell is to have global cooperation. All these problems are global in nature. It's not something that a single country can do by itself. If you want to prevent the rise of killer robots, if the US bans killer robots or bans genetic engineering on human babies, it won't help much unless the Chinese and the Russians and the Germans have similar regulations, because nobody would like to stay behind. If you don't have a global agreement on that, then every country will say, yes, we don't want to do all these dangerous developments and experiments, but we can't trust the other guys not to do it. And we must do it first, because we can't be left behind.
And we obviously have had global agreements in the past, right? I mean, the Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, for example, one of them.
Than ever before. There is greater global cooperation in the last 20 or 30 years than ever before in human history, in almost all fields, from economics to even